Imagine being 13 years old and challenging a grown samurai to a duel. Now imagine winning. History remembers Miyamoto Musashi as a kensei, a sword saint, an undefeated warrior who fought over 60 duels and never tasted defeat. But these stories only scratch the surface. To truly understand the legend, we must uncover the man. And to do that, we have to go back to the beginning, back to the chaos and bloodshed that forged Japan's greatest swordsman. Our story begins around 1584, in the brutal era known as Sengoku Jidai, the age of warring states. Japan was torn apart by relentless civil wars. Daimyo, ambitious warlords, clashed endlessly, seeking dominance. For ordinary people, life was harsh, unpredictable, and short. Into this world was born Shinmen Bennosuke, later known as Miyamoto Musashi. His father, Shinmen Bennosuke, was no ordinary man. A respected martial artist, Musashi was known as unrivaled under the sun, praised even by the shogun himself. But Musashi's childhood was far from stable. His mother died young, and his father was harsh, demanding, and distant. Some accounts suggest Bennosuke was sent away to live with his uncle, a Buddhist monk, who taught him discipline and the basics of reading and writing. Left mostly on his own, Musashi began teaching himself swordsmanship, practicing relentlessly, guided only by old scrolls, intuition, and sheer determination. At 13, Musashi's first recorded duel wasn't a playground scuffle. Arima Kihei, a traveling samurai seeking opponents, confidently challenged anyone brave enough to face him. Bennosuke accepted without hesitation. Legend tells of Musashi, armed only with a heavy wooden sword he'd carved himself, charging wildly at the adult warrior. Kihei swung his blade, expecting an easy victory, but Musashi ducked beneath the strike, grabbed him and hurled him to the ground. With brutal simplicity, Musashi beat him to death. This was no elegant victory, just raw instinct and brutal effectiveness. A boy had killed a grown samurai, instantly becoming both feared and famous. The duel ignited a lifelong fire within Musashi, pushing him to challenge Japan's greatest warriors. By age 16, Musashi faced another duel against a skilled swordsman, Tadashima Akiyama, and again emerged victorious. But the nation itself was about to undergo a seismic shift. In 1600, at the Battle of Sekigahara, the largest and most decisive clash in Japanese history, Musashi fought on the losing side. Overnight, tens of thousands of samurai became ronin, masterless, wandering warriors. Being a ronin was considered disgraceful, but Musashi saw it differently. For the first time, he was truly free. Unbound by loyalty to any lord, he chose his own path, a warrior's pilgrimage across Japan. From now on, he would test himself against anyone who accepted his challenge. Musashi lived rough, sleeping in forests and abandoned shrines, appearing more like a bandit than a knight. But everywhere he went, his reputation preceded him. He was both feared and admired, a warrior who turned disadvantage into strength and isolation into independence. In Musashi's own words,
"You may abandon your own body, but you must preserve your honor."
To Musashi, honor wasn't loyalty to a master, it was loyalty to oneself. From a violent childhood duel to a legendary wandering warrior, Musashi's real journey was just beginning. Ahead lay even greater battles, duels against entire martial arts schools, and the forging of his legacy as Japan's greatest swordsman. If you're ready to see how Musashi became the sword saint of Japan, subscribe now and turn on notifications so you don't miss part 2. And let me know down in the comments, what part of Musashi's life intrigues you most? The fierce duels, his independence, or the mysterious man behind the legend?